help me turn my stovetop into a smokehouse is Christopher Styler, author of Smokin, Recipes for Smoking Ribs, Chicken, and More with Your Stovetop Smoker. Welcome, buddy.
Hi, Sarah. How you
This is
doing?
also my buddy for 20 years.
Yes, indeed.
There we go.
How you doing?
I'm great.
Good.
And I happen to own one of these.
I know you do.
And I haven't done very much with it, so you're going to take me beyond the basics today.
Yes,
we're
we
gonna
will.
Start down here with these. This is the biggest thing I ever saw.
This is about the largest turkey wing I've ever seen, either. But one of the first things I did when I started playing around with the recipes for the smoker was to smoke a turkey wing, because I make split pea soup and I love it with smoked turkey wings. Most people use ham hocks,
Yeah.
but I love it with smoked turkey wings. And the ones you get in the store, here's a little trick. If you just sort of snap
Pop
it
it
open,
right
you can
at the-
always find the joint.
Okay.
And
We're
then-
cutting it up because?
Well, it'll fit because these are so large. If they are smaller, these probably weigh a little bit over a pound, but if they are smaller, you can smoke them whole. But if they're this large, I think it's a good idea to cut them up. The seasoning.
Are we going to use the wingtip too, or does that get saved for
no,
stock?
you can. If you're going to make soup with it, you can certainly do it. But right now, we're just going to, because we're making a pasta sauce, and we're not going to
You
really.
want me to season?
That would be terrific. Just a little salt and pepper is really all you need. I'm just going to wash my hands. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, and that's a real sink.
Sorry. Okay, good.
Believe it or not, we actually have a real sink. But it's important to wash your hands when you're working with raw poultry. That is no joke. Okay. So now this is the, let's pause.
Okay.
This is the stovetop smoker.
Yes.
It's like a roasting pan with a slide-on lid.
Exactly, and what it does is by sliding on the lid, you can trap in all the smoke and also all the heat. So it really, while you're, and this is sort of an important distinction to make, while you're smoking, you're also cooking.
Okay.
Okay, so you're doing both. And here we have wood chips.
Okay.
They come in all different varieties: apple, mesquite, corn cob, cherry, so on.
And they come with, when you order your, buy this, they come with it, so you can pick.
Exactly, and you always get a little starter kit so you can, it's important to notice, first of all, I'm going to spread a couple of tablespoons just over, that's it.
Really?
Now I go lighter, and I make a big point of this. I go lighter than most people, because to me, smoking is not just a way to cook, it's also like adding another ingredient.
Right.
Because that smoked flavor is like a spice unto itself. Right. I go lighter. If you die hard, you can double it, and so on. But just over the area that is the burner, right? Then we're going to put...
I want to point out that we've covered the drip pan with foil, and you do that every time.
Then you just pull the foil off and throw it out.
Right.
And
nice way to clean.
And you're done.
And then we have the rack, and this is nonstick, so we didn't have to oil it.
Exactly. All the newer ones will have nonstick. If you have an older one, a little spray, a vegetable spray, then you'll never have a problem with it sticking. Then this goes in.
Oh, look at that. So fatty, almost doesn't fit. He will eventually.
And it'll shrink a little during cooking. Now, the important thing is not to close the lid all the way, because we're going to put on the heat.
Yeah. You want medium? Or start it high till we get it up?
You can do that, and then once you see the smoke start to come out, we're going to lower it down to medium, close the lid, and that's when you start your timing as soon as the lid is closed.
And for these wings, how long are we going to smoke them?
For these lunkers, I would probably give them 45 minutes. And 45 minutes is about as long as you want to smoke anything.
Okay, good.
And then after that...
All right. Okay, now we're going to make the sauce that we're going to add the wings to later on.
In addition to split pea, these do make great split pea soup, but they also make this terrific pasta sauce, which we're going to put over rigatoni today. And we started with some onions and some extra virgin olive oil. They're going nicely, but we don't want to brown them or cook them too much. They still stay a little crisp, because this sauce cooks for a long time, so you don't want them to lose their texture. In goes some garlic chips, okay.
And
these, which I love.
Those are the hot little cherry peppers we get right there.
Exactly, and they usually come in brine, so when you're adding this, you're adding not only the heat from the pepper and the sweetness from the pepper, but also that vinegary salty.
I'm seeing some smoke.
That's exactly what we're looking for.
So you get in there. Are we going to be able to do that?
Yeah, and he'll shrink a little bit as he cooks, too.
All right, get in there. And we do this on medium, is that right, Chris?
And there are certain things that you want to adjust the heat, lower for like an oyster on the half shell. Start them on medium, but then lower it so that they don't overcook by the time they smoke. But all of that's sort of spelled out in the book. Something important to remember, I'm going to season this with a little bit of salt.
Season as you go. Don't wait till the end.
That's right.
I agree.
Tomato paste. In Italian-American cooking, a lot of times you see it stirred in towards the end or something. I like to give it a big head start. Cook it right in at the beginning. It sort of mellows the flavor, brings out the flavor.
Okay.
And then as soon as it starts to change color like that, we know we can go on to the good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Tomatoes, too? Or
Yes. I'm going to, how about if I throw that in?
Okay.
Let that just come up
a little red wine. Red wine, I mean, wine is a conductor of flavor, so anytime you add it, all the better.
Okay, and while that's cooking,
I think we're just going to
Well-
have to add our tomatoes. But Chris always takes the core out of the tomato. He doesn't worry about the seeds.
right, I mean,
Yes.
the seeds don't bother me. The cores, when you bite into that, it's a little distracting. So after they're cored and seeded, they get back into the liquid.
And chopped.
The whole thing goes in, exactly, and chopped. The whole thing goes in, and then we're going to add a little chicken broth here. And the chicken broth's like a little insurance policy. What it does is let you cook,
And not have it get over.
right, and
Okay.
over-reduced and sticking and burning. And here's what they look like.
That's what they look like after 45 minutes of
Right.
smoking. So those are the smoked wings going into our sauce. And then this simmers how long?
Well, with these big things, again, I would probably say about an hour and a half.
Oh, look at that.
And that's what you...
And then we remove the meat from the bone. Here, I'm gonna get, and we've got our rigatoni cooking here.
Great.
So we're gonna put this, oh boy.
And this is really simple. The skin will... See, I would put some of the skin after
Oh.
I chopped it up right back in. But you just, if you don't like to do it, it has a lot of flavor. If you
Yes.
don't like to do that, just take the meat off, chop it up, and you're all set.
All right, so now we're gonna toss this all together. So we should put the, let's move on over here and add the
Okay.
sauce to this.
All
Get
right.
rid of some of these bowls.
Okay.
Okay, now.
And an old Italian trick is to take, before you drain the pasta,
Right.
scoop yourself off a little water because you never know. You can adjust the thickness of the sauce.
Do you need a towel? Or are you
I
okay?
think I'm all
There.
set.
Okay.
go.
And I'm going to put this right here for you to spoon it into. So we're
Okay.
just going to toss it up quickly. You want just a couple of spoons?
Yes, I have one here.
Okay, here's
and I
the
do
second.
think this is a little thick, so I'm going to put a little of the pasta water in
There
it.
we go.
And another trick is to, if you're adding Parmesan or Romano cheese or anything like that, never do it over the heat, because what will happen is the oil will
Get gooey.
separate, gets gooey this way. What it does is get nice and creamy.
Okay. All righty. We'll be right back with a nearly foolproof food for brunch, dinner, or a buffet. It's called a smoked tortilla.